Hi there, welcome to the Great American Stampin' Show. My name is Jodi Reinert, and this is my Stamp with Jodi YouTube channel. I'm really excited to have you here because in this episode, we are going to talk to you and show you lots of ways to use Stampin Blends. These are Stampin' Up's alcohol markers, and we've got a lot of great things to share with you. Now, I've actually got 4 different techniques in my one card in this video. And the 2 techniques, you'll probably be like, yeah, I've seen that before. I've done that before. But I think the other 2 might be new to you and might surprise you. So I am very excited to show you all 4 techniques and this card with some brand new Stampin' Up products. Be sure to, after you watch my video, go ahead and watch the videos of Julie, Shannon, and Brandy, my Great American Stampin' Show competitors. And then go ahead and vote by giving a thumbs up to the video that you like the most. So I want you to sit back, relax, enjoy, and see what you might learn about Stampin' Blends alcohol markers. All right, for my Stampin' Blends card, I am featuring the Spotlight on Nature bundle. This is a brand new bundle from the brand new Stampin' Up annual catalog. So this is a cling mount stamp set. It's got 7 different images. It's nice because there's a variety. There's these background textured images. There are some floral, leaf, butterfly, kind of focal point images, and then a couple of greetings. So it's a great stamp set, and it comes with these amazing dies. So when I said bundle, you may have been thinking, oh, there's probably something to cut out the flower or the butterfly or this leaf here. But in fact, what comes with the Spotlight on Nature bundle are these awesome detailed circle dies. So I think you can see pretty easily the different patterns. So we've got some lines here, a little flourish type design on these, and then like a dash and a circle repeated on these. There's 4 of each design, and you can see there's different sizes because what's really awesome is that you can do some layering. So if I wanted to die cut something, let's say with this one, and then do another layer inside with this one, and maybe even something really small with that one. There are endless possibilities, a way that you can use these together or individually. So there's like at least 12 different ways because there's 12 dies, but there's really an infinite number of ways you can combine them. So I am super excited about Spotlight on Nature. I think it's going to be one of our top sellers in this new catalog. So let me scoot these aside. I kind of pulled them off the packaging they come in because I wanted to be able to show them all to you. They're really, really awesome and fun to work with. Okay, let's pull in some of the pieces I'm going to need. My card base is Peach Pie. This is one of our new in colors. So if you're familiar with Stampin' Up, you know that when we come out with a new annual catalog, we come out with 5 new in colors. These are called in colors because they're like trendy new colors, and Peach Pie is one of them. Another one is called Shy Shamrock, and that's this color right here. This, of course, is our card base, so it's 5.5 by 8.5, and then I just folded it in half. This one is cut to be a mat, a layer that goes on the front, so it's 4 inches by 5.25. What I'm going to do before I attach that, though, is pull in my paper trimmer, and I am going to line this up so that my points on opposite ends are in the cutting groove. Let me slide that up just a bit. So right in the cutting groove where the blade goes, and I'm going to just set that arm down and cut like that so that I have a triangle. Now I will put my adhesive on the back of this triangle, and we'll add that right to the front of the card over on the left side. So we'll add this to the card front just for a little design and interest piece. And then, let me see, I want to bring in this piece. This is thick basic white cardstock, and it's a 3.5-inch square. On this piece, this is going to be our focal point, and I am going to take the leaf image from Spotlight on Nature with some Memento black ink. I'm going to stamp this image repeatedly on the piece of the thick basic white. So I will just stamp several times, re-ink each time, and go right around the edges. One more over here. Let's just do right there. Okay, so I'll set that aside for now. I think I'll set this aside for now too. I was contemplating whether I should do one other thing, but I'm going to save that. So this is what I have right now, and I am going to pull in some Stampin' Blends. That's what we're talking about with this episode. This is Shy Shamrock. This is dark and light Shy Shamrock. Now, again, this is one of our in colors. All of our Stampin' Blends come in a 2-pack. So you get the dark and light shade of whichever color you choose. And the blends, in case you're not familiar, there's a more of a bullet end and then a brush end. And those are signified by those thickness of those lines there. So I like to use the brush end whenever possible, simply because it goes a little faster and takes less time. And I'm all about that quick and creative. So less time for me is always better. When I color with Stampin' Blends, I am not super concerned about getting right to the very, very edge of the line. And that is because the blends tend to like bleed or move out just the littlest bit. So as long as I get in that general area, I know that it'll kind of just work its way out to the edges. I want to be careful not to go like over that black line at all, because then I'll probably get out of the lines. And we do have a colored lifter, which now that I think about it, I should have brought over to my table here, because that kind of helps lift the ink off of places you don't want it, like if you go out of the lines. So let's see if I need to go run and grab it quick. That was the light Shy Shamrock. Now I'm going to go back with the dark one. Actually, I'm going to use the bullet end on this. And I'm just going to kind of go over the lines in the stamp design, like the veins of the leaf. So I don't really have to artistically know what I'm doing exactly, because I'm just kind of following the lines that were put there in the design. So it's kind of a little bit of a cheaterish way to act like I know what I'm doing with shadowing and all of that. So I'm just going back over some of these lines that are in there. Now we'll go to my second one and do the same thing with the light. Did I grab the light? Yep. Oh, good. This is the light Shy Shamrock again. And I'm just going to continue to color in each of these leaves. What's nice when I go back in with this darker shade is that it adds a little bit of depth to the, in this case, leaf, and just makes it look a little more natural. You know, out in nature, there aren't really leaves that are very uniform throughout. We see different shadings of green and sometimes other colors on those leaves. And so adding this darker shade, even though it's a subtle thing, it really adds some interest. So just finish up with these last few, and then we are ready for our next step. So this is what I've got as my focal point. So this is going to be layered on our card base like this. Now, what I can do, where'd I set it? Right here next to me. I have two options. I can attach this on this Pretty in Pink. Pretty in Pink is another of our new in colors, but it might sound and look familiar because Pretty in Pink is a color we had, oh gosh, several years ago. It was like a staple color for a long time. It went away and now it is back with these new in colors and it is a gorgeous fit. I'm really happy to have Pretty in Pink back. So this layers on here and then this layers on here. But I want to show you a trick with the Stampin' Blends because maybe sometimes you want a matte layer like this Pretty in Pink, but you just ran out of Pretty in Pink cardstock, and so you need an alternative. So that's what I'm going to show you today with this piece of thick basic white. So how in the heck is that going to work? I can set it on here and you can see that it's cut the right size, but it's white. So that's a little goofy, right? Let me show you what you can do with your Stampin' Blends. I'm going to take the dark Pretty in Pink Stampin' Blend and I'm going to use the brush end and I'm going to color, just drag this across. I don't need to go too far because it's not going to show that much. I'm just kind of laying it down on its side. I can go over it, make it a little bit darker. The more you apply, the darker it gets, of course. So if you want a darker shade, you just keep going over it as much as you want. You totally control the look of what you're coloring by how much you put on. Okay, now check this out. I can layer it here. And it totally looks like I had that piece of Pretty in Pink cardstock, which there's absolutely nothing wrong with using this piece of Pretty in Pink cardstock. But if you run out, if you don't have it, if you want to switch to a different color and you don't have that color, but you have the Stampin' Blend, have no fear because you can do that little trick. Just color along the edges and no one will ever know. So that is a fun trick I wanted to share with you. And now, so if I'm just going to set this on here and pull in a couple of other things. I've got this little piece of thick basic white again. This is 2 3/4 by 3/4. And I'm going to pull in my black ink again and use the Dear Friend that comes in this stamp set. And I'm going to do it just a little bit off center, a little bit more toward the right than center. And then I have another little scrap right here. Also thick basic white, and I'm going to this time use the butterfly image and stamp that with the black memento ink. And now I just want to do some quick coloring on the butterfly. So I am going to pull in both my light and dark peach pie. So this is light peach pie, and I'm just going to get some color right like on the inside along the body of the butterfly. And then I'll continue with some dark and pull that out a little bit further. I'm going to go back over this part here just a bit. And then I'm going to pull in my light Pretty in Pink and put that on the ends. So not only can you blend like the two shades here of Shy Shamrock, but you could take different color Stampin' Blends and blend them together too. So I've got my peach pie and my Pretty in Pink, but I'm going to overlap now and get a combo mixed color right here where they come together. And it'll fade out into that Pretty in Pink. So it's just another fun way to blend colors. There's so many options, so many fun things that you can do with the Stampin' Blends. Now, I am going to use scissors because if you remember, the awesome dies that come with the Spotlight on Nature bundle are those circles, which I love. They're great and they're super versatile because let's be honest, you can use them with any stamp set. It doesn't have to just be Spotlight on Nature that you use them with, but because they are the circle dies, that means I have to cut out this little butterfly. There's not a die for it, but it's a pretty easy cut. Just some nice curved lines. And when I come down here, I'm going to kind of go down a little bit, but I'm not going to totally cut around those. All right, so the last little bit is off, and this is our butterfly. So let's see if we can get him focused. There we go. So I've got the peach pie blended into the pretty in pink. So if we kind of just set things on here and begin to assemble a little bit, you can kind of get an idea of what this card is going to look like. However, I've shown you how to color with blends with the Shy Shamrock light and dark on here. I showed you the trick with the dark pretty in pink to make it look as though you've got pretty in pink cardstock under there. And then I showed you how to use peach pie and the light pretty in pink to blend those two very different colors together. But I've got one more thing, the fourth tip I want to give you for Stampin' Blends before we assemble this card. So I'm going to just sneak this layer out and show you what we're going to do. So I'm going to take the light peach pie. I'll just push some other things out of the way here. I think I'm going to do the brush end. And what I'm going to do is start and just very carefully go up to and kind of outline almost the leaf images that are stamped. And I'm just going to kind of color the background. So even though it's white cardstock and it's thick basic white, you always want to use the thick basic white when you're using Stampin' Blends because the alcohol markers just work a little bit better with a thicker cardstock. So it's going to give the illusion here, just like we had a little illusion over here, it's going to give the illusion that this was stamped like on peach pie cardstock, even though we know that wouldn't work because we'd never get that vibrant green if we were stamping on peach pie cardstock. So we stamped on the white, we colored in the leaves, and now we're coloring the background to give that illusion that it was on a colored piece of cardstock. So you've probably done maybe some basic coloring with the Stampin' Blends, and maybe you've even blended two different colors together. But I would be super curious to know if you have done this little pretend illusion of a cardstock layer, or if you've colored the background like I'm doing here. So tell me what you've done with Stampin' Blends and what you're learning in my video today. I would love to hear. Okay, so now let's sneak this back in underneath here and really pull this card together. Do you see how different that looks? Maybe like when you're done, go back and watch the video where it was white and compare it to how it looks with the peach pie in the background. I just think it's absolutely stunning. So let's go ahead and put some adhesive on the back of this layer and attach it to the pretend pretty in pink layer. And then we'll put this on the card. And then just add those last elements and we will be done. Let's put that here. I'm going to go ahead and attach this flat, and I'm going to put it all the way over on the edge on the left side here. And then I'll take a couple of Stampin' Dimensionals behind the butterfly. That looks really pretty on the back even, doesn't it? The way the colors blend there. And we'll attach this and pop it up just a little bit here with the Stampin' Dimensionals. So the last thing I'm going to do, we have two different embellishments within colors. These are resin dots and these are called shimmer gems. And so there's two different options here that match these new in colors. I think I'm going to go ahead and take one of the peach pie. Actually, I'm going to use a bigger one here, I think. I'm just going to set that right there. All right, so here is my card. I would love to have your vote. I'd love to have you give me a thumbs up. And like I said, let me know what you have or haven't done with Stampin' Blends before, whether it's coloring, blending different colors, creating a pretend layer of cardstock, or coloring the background. I would love to hear what you learned, and I would love to have your thumbs up. So be sure to click through and watch Julie, Shannon, and Brandy's videos. Vote on the one that you like the most. And we are just so glad that you are following along and enjoying the Great American Stampin' Show with us. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day.